Good morning, children. Today we are going to continue with the lesson that already we started in the last class, that is force. Right? Now, can anyone tell me what is this force? Can you define the force? Yes. So, force is nothing but it is the push or a pull of an object. When we push or when we pull an object, we will show some effort on the object to push it or to bring it back or to pull it back, right? That is called force. This force is classified into two types. Already I gave the topic, we learnt in the last class, right? One is called as contact force, the other one is called field force. What are those? Contact force and field force. This field force is also called as force at a distance, right? This already we learned. So just I recall in 2 minutes. In field force we learned the different types. One is called gravitational force, next magnetic force, the next is electrostatic force. These three type of forces are there in the field forces, right? Gravitational force is nothing but a object pulls the another object towards it. For example, earth has gravitational force, so that every object that we throw up will come back to earth, because the earth has a force called as gravitational force with which it pulls all the objects, so that only every object that is thrown up will fall down to the ground, right? The next is the magnetic force. This is present in the magnets. When we keep some iron objects, magnetic substances near to this magnet, automatically it get attracted to the magnet, right? That's called magnetic force. Electrostatic force, this is the force which is present between two different charged objects. When, for example, if you take one comb, or if you take the plastic scale, if you rub with something and if you keep it that near the bits of paper, what happens? It get attracted towards the rubbed scale, right? So that is called electrostatic force. These are the different types of force already you have seen with the examples, right? The next is called as a contact force. This is the force when two different objects are in contact. That means they are in touching each other, right? There we are going to learn the different types. One is called as a muscular force, right? Second one is called the frictional force. Third is called normal, and the last one is called the tension. These are the four types of contact forces. Okay. Now when we see the muscular force, what do you mean by muscle? Yes, kandaral we say, right? So the different things. Now I'm writing on the book. You are running, you are lifting a bag. These all are you are doing some work with your muscles, right? So these muscles are in contact with the object. That means I am writing on the book. So my hands are in contact with the pen and the book. So my muscles are helping me to do this work. So that's called muscular force, right? The next is the frictional force. This is the force. This acts when two objects are in contact and running on each other. For example, if you take, I will show one thing. Okay, right? If you take eraser, we'll take one eraser and see, I'm taking one flat objects. Here I'm taking the textbook and keeping in a slanting position. Can you see? I kept in the slanting position like this. It's slope. I kept in a slope like this. right? I'm taking three different objects. One is eraser, the another one is sharpener, and next one is I'm taking pencil, right? Now I'm taking these three objects. Okay, now I'm keeping on the slanting objects. First I'm taking the pencil, I'm leaving it on the, what happened, till where it has gone? It has gone till there. Now I'm taking eraser, I'm keeping here. What happened to the eraser? Is it moving? No, after a certain distance it has stopped over there on the book itself, right here only. Next I'm taking the sharpener, I'm keeping here. What happened? It also gone to some extent to that, right? In the among these three, which has gone taken long distance? Pencil has taken the first long distance, then the sharpener, then the eraser, right? That means here why the eraser did not go till the end? Why it has stopped in the middle? Because the eraser is stopped by some unknown force. That means among these three objects, these three are running. Pencil has gone somewhere long distance because the pencil is little bit smooth when compared with the sharpener and the eraser, right? So because it is smooth, the force acting between the book and the pencil is less. Okay, but when we take between this sharpener and the eraser, among these three, which is very rough, eraser is little bit rough when compared with the sharpener and your pencil, right? So that the force acting between the book and the eraser is more when compared with the sharpener and the pencil. This force which is acting between the book and the moving object. What is the moving object here? Pencil, eraser and sharpener, right? So this force which is acting between the book surfaces and these objects is called as frictional force. So this frictional force will always act when one object is moving on the another object. Here the book is in the rest, the eraser is moving. So the eraser is moving in which direction? Towards down like this. But the frictional force will act up, opposite to each other, like this. So the eraser is moving down, but what happens? The eraser moving down, the frictional force will act in the opposite direction that tries to stop the object. For example, if you throw a ball on the level ground, what happens? The ground will roll and after some time it will stop, because there also between the ground and the ball the frictional force will act that tries to stop the object. That is called frictional force. The next is the normal force. For example, if I keep I kept this book, I'm keeping this book on my book. Is the book fall down or it is there on my book? It is there on my book, because on this book what are the force acting? On this book gravitational force is acting downwards towards the ground. So the one more force will act opposite to this gravitational force, that is called normal, right? For example, I'll show you. See, now for example, this is table. On this table I kept the eraser. Will the eraser stop on the table or it will fall down? It will stop on the table, because the table on this eraser the gravitational force will act downwards. So in the opposite to that, the normal force will act here in between the eraser and the table. That is called normal force. The next fourth type is called a tension. Suppose if I take one heavy objects, one stone I took a stone, I tied the stone to it with the help of thread and hanged it to a roof. I hanged it. Will that rock fall down or it will be hanging towards with the help of the thread? It will hang with the thread, right? So on this stone the gravitational force will be acting downwards. Here is there any normal force? No, because it is hanging freely in the air. So there will be no normal force. But this stone is hanged with the help of thread. That means the roof and the rock both are tied with the help of the thread. So the thread, when you pull and leave it, what happened? It will have some force in it. That with that force only the stone is not able to fall down. It will be there hanging in the wall. This force is called tension. Clear? So these are the different types of forces already we have learned here. Right, children? Now, the next, when we see, suppose I am taking this table. I don't want this table. I want this table to move from here to here. From point A to I want to push it to point B. What I will do? I will start pushing this table from this side. Right? Yes? Yes or no? Yes. Now I am not able to push because it is very heavy. Then what I will do? I will take the help of one more person to push it. So now what happened? The force acted by one man is added with the second man. So this man and this man, two man's forces are acted to each other so that the table can be easily pushed from A to B. Right? Suppose now I will take one more table or one object I am taking. I am pushing from here. For example, I am applying 10 newtons of force. But when I am pushing this table from here to here, in the opposite direction, one more boy is pushing the table with 8 newtons. In which direction the table will move? Towards B or towards A? Yes, towards B it will move. Why? Because this person is having more amount of more force when with this person, right? So that means here you have to find out the net force. Net force means what? One person's force, one force minus another force. For your easy purpose, I am giving this. Net force means one force minus another force. What is the first force here? What is the first force here? 10 newtons minus, what is the another force here? 8 newtons. So what is the result? 2 newtons. So here this person is having 2 newtons more than this person, so the table will move. This is the way how you will find out the net force. Is it clear? Right? Everybody? Right? Suppose a car is moving on a road like this. A car is running. This is the road. The car is moving in this direction. Like this it's going. That means it is having some force which it is going. When the car is moving in this direction, what is the type of force that acts in the opposite direction? Can anyone tell? Yes. In the opposite direction, between the tire and the road, there will frictional force will be acting. What is the other force acting here? This car will be pulled down with gravitational force. Right or wrong, children? What is another force acting on this car opposite to this gravitational force? Normal force, like this. Because on the ground, the two wheels are touching. So between this wheel and the road, the normal force will be acting. So because the gravitational force and the normal force are equal to each other, so that the car is on the land. If any force is more, if for example gravitational force is more than normal force, what would happen? The car will be pulled down. But it is there on the road because gravitational force and normal force are equal. Right? Now, what about this force? This is the engine force. This is the frictional force. So the car is able to move forward. The car is moving forward. Why? Because the frictional force is less than applied force. So that the car will move. So when you want to show these all types of forces acting on this car, we will follow one small type of equation that is called free body diagram. We call it as free body diagram, that is FBD, short form, free body diagram. How to draw this free body diagram? This free body diagram will be drawn with the help of a small square. Right? Now I am showing this car in the free body diagram. So on the car, it is showing in this direction applied force. In the opposite direction, frictional force. Downwards, gravitational force. Upwards, normal force. This is the free body diagram of a car. Understood, children, everybody? Now we understood how to find out free net force. For suppose if I am giving one object, one body, here one boy is pushing with 6 newtons. In the opposite direction, one more boy is also pushing with the same 6 newtons. What is the net force here? 6 newtons minus 6 newtons. 6 minus 6, how much? 0. So that the body will not move in any direction. It won't move like this, it won't move like this, because both are having same amount of energy, force, right? Why I am using everywhere n is nothing but n is means Newton, the name of the scientist. N means Newton, the name of the scientist, because he is the person who first gave this, found this all. So that only is on behalf of his name only this is given as Newton's N. Is it clear, children? Everybody? Any doubt here till here? Now you understood net force and free body diagram? Yes? And one more important point here I have to learn. Suppose if I take pencil, can you see? One side is sharpened, another side not sharp anything. If I use this sharp side, see properly. If I press it like this, what do you feel? It's paining, right? Suppose if I use this blunt side, if I press it like this, will it pain more? On which side it will pain more? Sharp side or blunt side? Yes, sharp side. The sharp side will be poking, will be very paining than this blunt side. Why? Because the sharp side, this sharp side has very less area. This side will have less area, but here in this side more area. See, I'll draw the pencil. Like this is sharp side, this is the blunt side. Here area is more, this area is more, but here the area is less. Understood, children? Clear? So here why you are talking about this one? Because you have to learn about a pressure. Ottadi we call it as, right? So that means when you are using the sharp side, here the pressure is more because the area is less. So whatever the force I am applying with this pencil, all the force will come and accumulate here at this edge. So this the force, now the pencil this much broad, all the force which is acting on this pencil will come to this point. So that point will poke us. That means the force is coming together. When at this point what happen? The force will be very, very more. So because of the force is more, automatically it will be paining. But when you see this blunt side, what is the force I am using or applying on this pencil? That force will be there throughout this complete area. So the area is more, so automatically the force will be less. So the pressure formula is equal to force by area. Force by area. That means when area is less, force will be more. When area is more, force will be less. Understood, children? Force by area. This is the way how we will know what all you have to learn in this force lesson. Understood, children? Is it clear? If you have any doubt, we will discuss later when after go opening the school. Okay, children? And after listen it properly, and I will give you the points to be noted down and learn tomorrow. Right? Thank you, children.